Hello, I'm Sayar Chit, and I'm the founder of OELC. I founded this class 2 years ago, and now our leader of this class is Sayar Chen. Sayar Chen?
Hello, I'm Sir Chan. Today we're going to discuss about our English learning journey. And so my first question for today is when did you start learning English?
When did I start learning English? The time that I started learning English is, I would say, 2008, and I
Yeah.
finished my high school, and after that, and I got very low points in English subject, and I was really upset about it. And there's one thing that I want to do in my life is I wanted to be a tour guide. So, and I want to, and the class called TBSE, one of our mother's
Yes.
club, and the main class in my life. So I went there and I studied English for about 2 years, and then I became assistant teacher. Then I became a teacher, and that's how I studied English. But before that, like I studied English as a language since I was really young, because my our parents has a vision of like how English language is really important in life. So they sent me to one of the very famous English class, which is teaching and giving education, English language education to the young learners. And yeah, it was founded by the Sayado called Uobata, and he founded that school, that class, and I went there every year until I was grade six.
Okay.
And after that, and I stopped learning English, and I just go to school, normal school, and I study English as at OES no TBLC,
Okay.
and by the guidance of our teachers and our venerable Seattle Uyuzana. He's a great one. And
Yeah.
he's really one of the main person in life for English journey
Yes.
of my life. How about you?
I started learning English since I finished my matriculation examination in 2011.
Yeah,
And so like you said, I've ever been to summer English courses since I was in second grade.
yeah,
Not every year, but almost every year I joined the summer English courses, but I never finished because my family used to take a trip to the countryside like in every summer holiday, so I had to drop out on the halfway.
yeah,
And as I've said earlier, I since I finished my matriculation examination, I joined the an English class. The next day.
yes,
So it's called Marakida. So the class uh, where I passed my matriculation exam, and where I started my very first English journey.
yeah,
I studied there. I learned English there for about 3 months, and then I felt like I had to enhance. I had to improve my English. So I started joining other classes. So the main class was TBELC
yeah,
that I joined, and I also looked for many free classes. I mean, the classes where I didn't need to ask for money from my parents. So
yeah.
I used to go to the churches and where they offer English conversation clubs, and so it was always my hobby to go to English classes and talk to people in English.
Yeah, it was a great journey, and I
Yes.
always find some same things with you and me. And
Yes.
as we came from very basic family, and we
Yes.
cannot be able to, we couldn't afford any big money.
Yes.
But right now, for now, we can speak English really well. And we had to go to the school like volunteer class, which we had to pay English, which we had to pay a monthly fee very low, like for example 1,000
Yes.
for 1 month. And
Yes.
and now what I want to give the message to the people uh, out there is like we don't actually need very big money to study English, to give English education,
Yes.
and we can find many classes, like not only our class but also some other class which is giving English for a
Yeah.
kind of like free, right?
Yes.
So how do you think about this kind of like education, which was really great in our time?
Yeah. You know, since I came from a very poor family, and my parents couldn't support so much. I mean, other than the state education, they couldn't afford to pay extra for my extra education. You know,
Yeah.
like learning English and going to the art school. You know, art classes and other things. I had to look for the voluntary classes. You know, like you, and so that's why I said that I look for the free classes available in Yangon, and I went around
Yeah.
around the town. Like every weekend, I would just leave my house in the early morning, and I would just like went around one church to another just to speak to the native speakers.
Yeah.
And you know, it was really helpful to me that I sticked on learning English
Yeah.
because I got you know, I had many interests in learning English because I get to meet a lot. I got to meet a lot of people and you know, practice English with them. It was fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to put one more question.
Yes.
Like, what is the main thing what was one of the main things to make you learn English and became English teacher, or became you as you are a tour guide, how English support your life, you know?
Yes. Um, it's it has ever been my dream to become a tour guide since
Yeah.
I was in the eighth grade. We were, you know, we took a trip to Dalian
Yeah.
with it was a school excursion.
Yeah.
And on the pagoda, I saw two tourists with a tour guide. I didn't know what kind of career it was, but I knew a little bit that, like, was he a translator or something? You know, he's talking to the tourists about the pagoda, and I was interested, and so I would just like stand and follow them, and then they were looking at me like, you know, what I was doing, and I didn't know that. So when I got the chance, I talked to the tour guide, and you know, it was a you know, it was a man. I didn't know his I didn't get to know his name, but actually I asked like, "What is your job?" And he said that I'm a tour guide. I take tourists around, and I make sure that their trip to Myanmar is pleasant and quite informative, and you know, these kind of things. And I
Yeah.
said, wow, I like that. So since I came back from that pagoda, it became my dream to become a tour guide. So to be a tour guide, I need to learn a language, and English had always been my favorite languages among the you know, foreign languages. So okay, I got to learn English as I finished my matriculation examination. So yeah, that's why. And then so in COVID, during the pandemic, right? I had to stop working as a tour guide because tourists stopped coming into Myanmar. So I had to change my career. Okay,
Yes.
so so before I became a tour guide, I used to be an English teacher. I mean, I was just helping my class. I've been having the voluntary class, you know, as a senior student and a junior teacher. So
Yes.
I had already had my teaching experience. So during the pandemic, okay, I decided to start teaching again, and
Yeah.
then I joined. You know, I was called by you, right, to
Yeah.
come and teach here in OELC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was really glad that you
Yes.
yeah, you are one of the main person to manage this class, and as we see right now, our class is really going bigger, and the progress is amazing, so thanks to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling me. And my question is,
Yeah.
has it always been your dream to become a tour guide? When you
It,
started
it
learning
was
English?
not always been my dream. You know, look, one thing that you and me is different was in high school,
Yeah.
and or like since I was young, I didn't like English.
Oh.
So it could be the encouragement for all the students who might not like English, but I realized after I have passed the matriculation exam, and English is really English. I knew that English plays a very important role
Yes.
in life, because whenever I go and apply job, and they need one qualification, which is like an English force case.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't have that, and as I didn't like uh, to learn English subject, but when I went to TBLC and my monastery, and I felt like, wow, I could do it,
Yes.
and I'm brave enough. I'm brave enough to speak it out, whatever I want to in English, and also I'm not scared of any mistakes. So I go out and I have confidence and I talk in front of people, and I started feeling English is a thing for me, and yeah, it was a great choice for me. And but one thing is I also, yeah, well, after I passed matriculation exam, and I also saw some of the tour guide,
Yes.
and I felt like, that's what I want to be in my future. It was not my dream to be a tour guide,
Yes.
but since then on, it became my dream.
Yes.
And when I see this kind of person wearing very neat and tidy and standing in front of the very big pagoda, for example, Shwedagon, and explaining to all the educated people who are coming from big countries like Canada, America, and they all listening to him, and wow, that's what I want to be in the future. And you will be neat and tidy, and you are smart, and you look really educated, and your mom will be proud of like uh, your son being tour guide. So, and
Yes.
I sit the exam, I sat the exam, and I want to exam, and luckily, and with my attempt and uh, with my energy, and I passed the exam, and I became a tour guide, and I really loved that. And right now, and I'm still a tour guide, and I'm working as a tour guide. So English is great things for my life. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, what was the most difficult thing for you in learning English?
So in learning English, and I can speak English really, really, like how to say, like I am not scared to speak it out. So speaking was not a problem,
Yes.
and listening was not a problem too, because we knew a lot of words from our high school, middle school, and elementary. We knew a lot of words. Even I listened to some English song, and I kind of understand what they
Yes.
want to mean.
Yes.
No, I would say you feel the same, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is like reading. When I read the books, and I cannot try to connect the stories, because it looks really hard for me. And also writing.
Oh yeah.
Writing and reading is the hardest thing in my English journey, but I gave more time
Yes.
on writing and no, yeah, writing and reading, and yeah, I'm good at it too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. So that's nice. For me, the most difficult thing was grammar. Actually, grammar isn't difficult, but
yeah,
I wasn't interested.
yeah,
That's why it was the difficulty for me. I mean, to focus one the teachers are teaching, I cannot focus, and I'm also very bad at mathematics.
yeah,
So, one English becomes when English looks like mathematics, explaining the theories and everything. So
yeah.
I wouldn't pay attention to it.
Wow.
So that was one of my difficulties there. And then as I became an assistant teacher in TBLC, I realized, okay, what if students ask me the grammatical questions and I couldn't answer?
Yeah.
So I got a little bit stressed, and then okay, I have to focus on grammar right now because I'm
Yeah.
gonna become an English teacher, and I started reading, and I started practicing the grammar exercise books, and I also focused on the on the grammar when I am in a class as a student, because as an assistant teacher you also have to learn English in level 3, right, in TBS. That's why. So in the grammar teacher's time, I would pay more attention to that, and I could overcome learning grammar is quite fun, and
Yeah.
I also right now I want to make sure that students are interested and students pay attention well when I teach grammar. So
Yeah, grammar
yeah.
is really, really important. I didn't like grammar too because normally like many of the students who love to speak English, and
Yes.
they can speak, but they don't want to learn grammar really, really hard. And but if you already learn grammar really hard and your
Yes.
speaking is going to be perfect,
Yes.
like a native speaker. So grammar is really important, and for students out there, and you should learn grammar at first, and then try to speak more. And so and we lucky because we had lots of like great teachers.
Yes.
I've never seen, and I've never met any teachers who is not skillful.
Yes.
All our teachers skillful. So especially the teachers from TBLC, they're
Yes.
great.
Yes.
And I'll tell you one stories in my life. I had one of the teacher. I have one teacher who is like my brother. His name is Sayar, and we were like brothers. And I met him, and he was in level 3, and we find lots of same things in life.
Yes.
And I really wanted to speak English really good, and I wanted to like apply English as one of like platform in my life.
Yes.
So every day, and I go to his house, and we drink tea, and I ask all the questions. He answered to me, and
Yes.
I prepared a lot. If I had to go to some of a talk show, or like even if I want to do really good practice, and I go to him. We had some kind of teachers like that, and our
Yes.
venerable and Seattle Wilson,
Mm.
and he also look every student in person, and he encourage us out. So we're great. We have a lot
Yes.
of teachers out there like in TBSE. They are great. That's why we became good speaker in English.
Yes.
So how about you? What kind of like encouragement and supporting in your life you got? You've got.
Yes. So it's more for me. It's more kind of um, rivalry, but that word's not so good. I mean,
Yeah.
to we rival each other.
Yeah.
So um, so I got like classmates who I want to be better than. So I we are always competing each other, competitive. Yeah, not rivalry. So the students used to be very competitive in TBLC. So
Yeah, that's true.
so when somebody makes a presentation, and the other students will stand up and ask the questions that is argumentative. Like
Yeah,
they will
that's true.
argue during the presentation. So the more you try to argue with people in a language, the more you put your effort, right, to be able to speak, to be able to uh, win,
Yeah,
your argument. So it was very helpful to me
that's true.
by
That's true.
being competitive with other students. We didn't hate each other actually.
Yeah.
We're just competitive in English.
And you always
Yeah.
prepare for battle, right?
Yeah. So when, let's say, for example, when a classmate who I have been very competitive with, when he has a presentation, and then it is announced in the classroom. Okay, so I would know what topic he's going to talk on,
Yeah,
and
that's
then I will at home I would just prepare the most difficult questions with the most difficult vocabularies that are not.
that he might not be able to understand
Yes,
what you're
yes.
going to ask.
The
Yeah.
the unfamiliar words
Yeah.
will be put in the question, so that I would like to give them put that speaker into trouble. So it wasn't very nice, but
Yeah, it was,
actually,
it
but
was
it
okay.
gave me new words
Yeah,
to learn. And also, when I made presentation, I had to try very hard to not to fail, not to lose the arguments, just like that. So I want the students in OELC to be competitive like that. But
Yeah, that's true.
nowadays, students become more softer. I mean, more soft, and then they are more, kinder. Students are kinder.
That's true.
They're
That's
very
true.
kind to each other. They do not put each other in trouble. So it is good in other way, but in learning something,
You have to be competitive.
yeah, you have to compare.
And I got one word from my teachers.
Yes.
Putting someone in the tight corner.
Mhm.
If you put someone in the tight corner, he's going to get it out.
Get you back. Yeah.
Yeah. Get from the tight corner out to his comfort zone.
Yes.
So, but he needs some skills
Yes.
to get out from that. Like we were in the talk show.
Yes.
What I did is, in my if I do talk show and I read a lot of books and I went to the teachers that I
Yeah.
and talked about, and I went to him and I tried to prepare the question. I tried to ask myself a questions,
Mhm.
and the most difficult question, then I knew. So when I get on the stage, and I always have answers for every question.
Oh yeah.
But they came here to kill you,
Yeah.
in front of the people,
Yes.
and with all the hardest question. But I'm like, okay, and I already prepared for it. So
Yeah.
and it was really competitive. These competition make us stronger in speaking English. These competitions makes us improve in English.
Yes.
Then like for example, we fight in a ring, and after that we hack each other,
Yeah.
and we like each other later on. We even discuss some English. We
Yes.
even go together to another class and
Yeah.
to practice or to learn more English. So it was a great thing, rivalry and competitions. These things makes a person improve in life.
Yes.
So I agree that.
Yeah. Okay. So before we go to the conclusion,
Yeah.
my last question is, how are you applying your English into your career right now
Yeah.
at the moment?
For me, that's easy, and I myself now working as a tour guide, and I've been traveling since I was like 20.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm 30 years old, so it's been like 10 years. These all 10 years, and I earn money, and I live my life with by using English language, by applying with English language.
Yes.
So it's really useful. So but for now, like less 2 years ago, I started using as being a professional teacher,
Yes.
and I started an OELC class, and I use English as one of my main career in life. Now, English class and tour guiding. So English has always been one of the greatest things in my life, and for the students, and I would say learning English is one of the most important things in life if you want to improve your life.
Yes.
As we need English as a skills.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a subject. It's not only a subject. It's not only a language. It's a life skills.
Yes.
So we need to learn that. So I apply English like that.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sayar Chit, for coming on the show. This is our very first
Very
interview
first.
video.
Yeah.
Kind of like podcast, but we're
Yeah.
going to start. We're going to do a lot more, interview videos, and I'll meet you when you get back from your tour.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. That's
And
true.
then next time we're going to discuss about your traveling experiences with the tours.
Yeah, I also plan of like posting some of the traveling videos. And I speaking with, as I told you, speaking with many of my customers, like travelers, and giving some of the very very like useful
Yes.
phrases and sentences to the people
Yeah.
out there, and also to the students who are learning English. So I have planned to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
And
much.
thank you for watching the video till the end. Please share the video if you
Thank
like
you.
it. Yeah.